want to take your cup, okay? We're going to get you out of here.
Focusing on your
You're
breathing.
safe now. We're here to help.
Welcome back to another episode of Join FDNY Podcast. I am Captain Andrew Brown.
I'm Captain Randy Lee.
How you doing, bud?
Good to see you.
Good to be seen. So what you been up to?
We just did an interview with EMS Recruitment. We had Director Mahan here and EMT McLean, and we're talking about the open enrollment that's open right now, all the way to November 25th to join FDNY EMS.
Oh, excellent. Those two are they're excellent individuals that I work with all the time.
They are.
You know what? Let's take a peek.
Great. Today, I'm joined with Director Mahan and EMT McLean, and we're going to be talking about EMT enrollment that's happening right now. So let's get into it. Tell me about the enrollment.
All right, good morning. So the application period for FDNY EMS is currently open. It opened on October 1st, and it will remain open until November 25th of this year. So this is the time for all those interested in working for FDNY EMS to get their applications in.
We have the candidates who are going to be coming in. They may not know where to go. So what's the best resource? Where can they go to get the information they need?
We believe the best resource is joinfdny.com.
Sure.
They go straight to joinfdny.com. There's a QR code for them to scan, which will take them directly to the Department of Citywide Administrative Services website, where they can then start the process. Again, we do ask them to visit us to one of our sites, to the Queens EOC, the Employment Opportunity Center, Manhattan, the Bronx, or here at headquarters for assistance to ensure that you are getting the highest score and the best list number that you are eligible for.
Right. It's a complicated process, too. You want to make sure that you do it correctly.
Correct.
Right.
And that's why we're here, free of charge.
And we can be reached at recruitment@fdny.nyc.gov.
For those who are expecting to join FDNY EMS, what traits are we looking for in these individuals?
You know, it's interesting. EMT McLean and I were talking about this a little while ago. There are situations that you could never anticipate on this job. There will be moments and times where you're going to have to dig deep within yourself. You're going to have to interact and deal with people in the public in different places, spaces, mental capacities. There's certain dangers that are lurking out there that if you're not aware and remain aware, the training you receive at the EMS Academy of Fort Totten is top notch, and always refer to your training. Try not to go off track, remain focused, and then get the job done. One of the other things is teamwork, understanding the importance of having a partner and working with your partner on the job, and then calling for necessary assistance. Never think that you have to do it all your own, because there's a big agency here to help.
Right, right. And for those who are interested and don't completely understand what we do here in EMS, can you go through like a day in the life?
A day in the life of an EMT for the fire department on an ambulance, it's never the same. One day is not like the other. There will be slow days, there will be fast days, there will be hot days, there will be cold days. So
Right.
I feel you come in contact with all types of people, different backgrounds, different medical emergencies, and it's day-to-day learning. Even when you come out of the academy, you're like right back in the academy on the ambulance, because every single day we are learning all over again.
And it varies sometimes when you work in one particular borough for a number of years. You can go in
Yes.
another borough and it's very different, you know. And so that's one of those things, right? So here in New York, we have this microcosm of very different things. So how is it that FDNY EMS is different from another emergency medical service out there?
I think one of the things you just said, Captain, the microcosm, just every little portion of each borough has something different going on. They're not just cultures, but they're customs. They're the way people expect things to happen for them, not knowing when they call for an ambulance who's going to show up and how they're going to show up.
Right.
Understanding the importance of giving the most accurate information about what's going on at that moment with that patient or potential patient is extremely helpful for them. The way the city moves from the Bronx to Brooklyn, Queens to Manhattan to Staten Island, it's different. In Manhattan, as we all know, during the week, in the morning and afternoon, you have the most people there.
Yeah.
Brooklyn just seems like it always has the most people.
Yeah.
Queens, when you're working in Queens, you're always close to an expressway, a parkway. And in the Bronx, same thing. So each borough has its own little niche, so to speak. and the customs around the people, the different neighborhoods, which I think makes the job even more exciting. You, as EMT McLean just said, you learn a lot each and every day, and a lot of it is because of the people you're coming in contact with in this great city.
So for the uninitiated who didn't really know all that kind of thing, right? So we'll use you as an example. So you didn't know that necessarily. You didn't know that every borough had their own thing. You didn't know about the amount of work, the amount of stuff that you would see. Right. So why did you join FDNY?
I joined because I wanted to help people, but I also wanted to be set aside from everyone else. Everyone can't do what it is that we do at work. Sure. Everyone cannot be pushed into a chaotic situation and still have, a eagle's eye on what the issue is and how to fix it.
Do you feel that the job has made you more ingrained in the culture of New York and your perspective of like public service? Has that changed since joining?
It's changed dramatically.
Yeah.
Because I had never called 911 prior to working here. I never seen the back of an ambulance. I didn't know the emergency hospitals. I didn't know where you would take someone if they had a stroke or a heart attack. I didn't know that. So I was extremely educated. I became acquainted with my own neighborhood. Mm-hmm. I became acquainted with other boroughs and how to get there and with bridges and, expressways. So it just opened my eyes to New York City. And I've lived here all my life. I was born here. Right. But working here, like 10 times better.
And it's different, right? Because some of the places we go are, sometimes you end up in touristy areas, mm-hmm. and sometimes you go to like the less beaten path of New York mm-hmm. City. So you get to see a lot of the city that you may never have, or everyone else has already, right? And after 10 years, could you describe maybe one of the more, rewarding moments that you've had on this job?
Rewarding, I can't pinpoint just one exactly, because I've saved lives, I've helped, mothers with their children. Sure. And to me, it's not like they're all one and the same, but I know what I was called to do. I know that I had a goal at the end of my job, but the rewarding part for me is just being able to, very simply put, like just being able to, because I understand that everyone isn't. It is quite a calling, and it is something that you have to be prepared for. You have to have it in you, and it's either you do or you don't. And I have that.
Right.
And that's the rewarding part.
That's the dramatic thing, right? Like you have like your TV show mm-hmm. thought processes of like, I'm going to save lives. Things are going to explode. I'm going to run and save everybody. But there's also those moments when a child breaks their arm, gets a paper cut, something along those lines, and you have to have that emotional fortitude to kind of manage that situation, make them feel better, and make sure that what feels like the worst day for them is a little bit less worse.
A little bit less worse.
We've talked about this, compassion.
Yeah.
The one thing that any new person coming to this job needs to have and needs to understand and needs to grow is compassion. Yep. You're going to be put in situations where you're not going to like the individuals you're there to help, but you have to recognize what you're there to do. And compassion will go a long way on this job.
Yeah, definitely. And EMT is not the ending point, right? There are paths for promotions and everything like that. So why don't we go through some of that?
Yeah. The first one, obviously, getting on the job, becoming an EMT. Mm-hmm. For some folks, they're coming in as EMS trainees, and they'll go from EMS trainee to EMT in the academy. They'll mature as they pass their state exam. After that, it's becoming a paramedic. One of the things we try to push is get in as EMT, EMTB basic, and let's get you promoted to EMTP paramedic. And one of the things to do is the best ways to get that done is to stay open to the experiences around you, mm-hmm. learn from the coworkers that you're working with, mm-hmm. and don't be afraid to take that next step. Come out of the comfort zone. People get on and become an EMT, and they become very comfortable with their partner or their work location or their station, and they're like, I don't want to make that move.
Right.
And then they get 4 years into the salary, and it's like, oh, it's not going to be that big of a salary change of my first year as a paramedic, and they're not thinking down the road, because in 5 years you're going to be making much more. Yes, your responsibility levels are going to raise, but your intellect is going to be increased, like your knowledge base. The ability to help someone now is expanded. Your role is expanded. So from paramedic, obviously, it's now becoming a lieutenant. And now you're taking on a supervisory role where it's more than just about you and your partner. Now you have to think about every group of partners as you go out there during your day. But it's lieutenant, it's captain. The sky's the limit. There is no hard ceiling, like I can only do this. It's I've watched people move through. I myself was an EMT at one point and then became a civilian, and now I'm director of EMS recruitment. There are these steps to take. Stay informed.
Sure.
Don't just sit and listen to someone else's woes.
Right.
Go out there and be the best version of you.
Right.
And the promotions will come. They're there.
Yeah. And we ran into each other back in the day in the Bronx,
Yes.
and I was your backup, right?
Yes.
So I was a rescue medic. So I walked that path. So as an EMT, I promoted to paramedic, became a Haztech paramedic, became a rescue paramedic, and the different avenues are just part of that yearning for more knowledge, right?
Yes.
And that's one of the things about this job. It's addictive. You want to learn more. You want to be able to do more for your patients.
Right.
You want to have more knowledge. And then when you become an officer, like you said, it's more of now, I want to take care of everybody else, like
Everybody
within the
else.
department, the people at my station, and even more so now as a captain. So I think those paths are great. I think they allow you to expand your knowledge, and I think they let you explore different parts of this job,
Yes.
which, as you get older, sometimes it's more important to you than, running the grind. right?
Correct.
As we're wrapping up, for anyone who's still on the fence about joining FDNY EMS, what do you think they need to hear right now?
You want to say it?
If you're on the fence, that means you thought about it. You have to follow through.
Yeah.
Following through is what gets you here. Following through is what keeps you here. So,
I would say also to add on, if not this, what? If not now, when?
Right.
Right? Like, why wait any longer to venture into a career? Because this is more than just a job, right? This is a career, and it has room for advancement. I would say don't wait now, because then you'll have to wait till next year. The filing period ends on November 25th. You want to get your application in now. And there are a lot of ways to do it. So I think one of the things to think about is there are fee waivers if you're thinking about the fee to pay for it. There are fee waivers that you may be eligible for. So I would say look into it and get it done before November 25th.
It's one of those things where apply, do the process, get everything done, because you don't know where you're going to be when they call you.
Exactly.
Right? So, and I know when I got called, it was like, kismet, perfect timing. I was unsure about it. And when they called, I was like, yes, I'm doing this right now. And I wouldn't have had that if I didn't apply.
Yeah.
So apply.
I always say, think of it as being trying to be two places at the same time, and then something's coming. You got to go one way or the other.
Right.
Follow through as long as you feel comfortable doing so, and as long as your interest level is remaining there. Don't give up and say, well, I didn't pass the PAT this time. We've had people that had to take it 6 times.
Oh, yeah.
And they've passed it, and they're on the job, and they're in medic school now.
Yes.
So there should be no thought of, I can't do it. And my last message would be, get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Correct.
Because that's what's going to push you through the processes.
Yeah. Someone only fails when they actually give up. If they keep
Correct.
pushing, no one's really ever failed.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly.
Like I said before, those two have the intangibles to help groom and prepare the next generation of EMTs.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, speaking about compassion and all like those unknown factors that you need to do this job correctly.
Yep.
And those really big takeaways. November 25th, last day for filing.
Correct.
Go to that Join FDNY website. See the list of things you have to go through. Fill out your stuff on DCAS, and that's the big thing. You got to start applying right now.
Absolutely. And they show you don't have to have it all figured out and understand how it starts and how it's going to end, but you just got to like show up, step up, and put forth your best effort, and you'll see. You'll get it done.
Right. And with amazing people like Director Mahon and EMT McLean there to help boost that process forward, they can get it.
Absolutely.
And in case you missed it,
Okay.
last month we were speaking with retired Lieutenant Torres from Rescue 4.
That's right. I know him. He's one of the mentors, one of the many mentors I've had on this job.
Yeah, and he talks about his role in the Hispanic Society and some of his long 30-year career.
Absolutely. All right. So let's take a look.
So why join the FDNY?
Why not?
There you go.
No, why not? FDNY, it's a great platform for me in my life, just where I actually give back to the community. I actually have a great job. We are totally united, everyone.
Right. And you're currently, even though you're retired, you're the historian for Hispanic Society, correct?
Yes, I am.
And what does that entail? What is your role there?
Well, putting together a lot of paperwork,
Yeah.
a lot of information, a lot of photos, as much as we can from the old time, from back then. Now we'll put it all together right now and try to get some idea of what the organization is since 1962.
And it's a long history, and it's a lot, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
So with the history so long, why is it important to to hold on to that? Why go through the trouble of going through the history, finding all this paperwork, and putting it all together?
So, putting it together in a formatted way where we can actually pass along to the other new members that are coming on.
Yeah.
So they understand what we've been through and how we unite with the department and how we can give back to the community.
It kind of goes back to again, you said this earlier on, how it's like learning from those before you, your seniors and
Absolutely.
everything.
Yep.
An excellent interview, Randy.
Yeah, and after 30-year long career, it's nice to see that how he got there, what he's doing now with the Hispanic Society too.
Yeah, no, Eli Torres, he's one of my mentors, one of the many mentors I had in this job, and just salt of the earth.
Yeah, and for anyone watching, if anybody wants that kind of illustrious career, again, reminder, the EMS recruitment enrollment period is going to end on November 25th. So get on it, get on that website, start filing.
Absolutely. It's a decision that you will not regret. As always, thanks for joining.